జర్నీకిస్తుంది.
Can somebody tell me what is explicit name? Okay. One thing, let us do in this way. From the module section, can somebody briefly list out what all are the topics that we covered up? First, we know what are the different identification techniques, right? Identification by properties, followed by anchor, followed by index, followed by the image. Then, if we are identifying by anchor, what is the property we get? Relative ID. If you are identifying by index, what is the property we get? Constraint index. Okay, well and good. And next thing is, what are the different types of parameters that we have? We have configuration parameters such as constraint index, explicit name and all. We have steering parameters such as wait before, wait after, scrolling behavior and all. We have technical parameters such as our normal inner HTML, inner text, outer HTML, outer text, href and all. We have transition parameters such as our XPath. And in addition to this, we can add some reflective ID parameters and all also. Okay. And now let's move on. What is explicit? What is constraint index? Constraint index is nothing but when we are having a group of controls which are having the similar set of properties, and if you want to limit your control to work for only one particular control among this group, then we will pick up the index position of that group in of that particular control and assign that particular index value to the constraint index property. So now whatever operation that I am performing, it will be performed on that particular index position of the control. The next one, what is explicit name? Explicit name is nothing but it is the same way. It is also to perform action on the index position only. But if you are using constraint index, you are assigning the property value at the module level, that particular index value at the module level. But if you want to assign the value at the test case level during the time of execution, so then you will set the property of explicit name to true, and in the test case you will give it as hash that particular value, hash 1 or hash 2, whatever it is. Okay, so both are the same, but this is for the module section and this is used in the test cases section. That's all. Okay. Now, what else did we discuss from the modules? Can somebody tell me what is module merge? Yesterday in Accenture, this was the interview question. Tell me about module merge.
To reduce the functionality level at the module level.
Okay. What will happen if you merge modules? Or is that you are targeting to do?
Multiple functionalities to be checked at one folder or one module.
Okay. If you are having multiple modules for the same functionality or something like that, then usually we will combine them together in order to avoid the duplicate modules. So that is the reason we do the module merge. So when we are doing module merge, what will happen? Usually we will have the source and target modules, and one module will remain with properties whatever we have selected, and the other one will be deleted. Right. Okay. Next question is, and this time I'll call out your names because I can't see anybody answering. Okay. Next question is Santosh. Can you explain me what are test configuration parameters? Santosh?
Ramya, yeah,
Yes. Yeah, Krishnaveni, proceed.
it is used to set some value to which can be used across the test cases.
Okay.
If you want to set the browser is browser, it can be IE or browser, Firefox, something. You can set the value by using this configuration parameter, test
Okay.
configuration
At
parameter.
which levels can we set the test configuration parameters?
Which is, if you want to open any URL, any application, we can add the test configuration parameter.
Okay. Tell me in this way. I'll put my question in another way. For suppose now I have couple of test cases. Okay, like 2 to 3 test cases. And currently I'm executing them in Internet Explorer. I don't want to change anything in the test cases, but I want them to run in different browsers. Like I want the same test cases for the Chrome browser, for Internet Explorer, for Firefox also. So tell me, how do you configure them?
To change the browsers through
Where will you change the browser? I don't want to disturb anything in test cases.
Test configuration will change the parameters.
Yeah, I don't want to change anything in test configuration parameters in the test cases section. So where do you change? You know this answer. We discussed about this in our.
Identifiers, connection identifiers.
No, nothing like that. We will change test configuration parameters only. But where do you change it is the main important one I'm looking for.
at the runtime.
How do you change it? Like I don't want, like see, the same test cases I want them for Chrome, for Internet Explorer, and for Firefox. I don't want to copy paste or and do anything in the test cases. We will create 3 execution lists, and on top of this execution list also we can specify the test configuration parameters. Right? Do you remember?
Yes.
And when we have a test configuration parameter on top of execution list, which value will it take it up? Only the execution list one. So my browser I can change over there, right? I can change 3 browsers. Like I can create 3 lists with the same test cases and I can give 3 browsers. So I will have the same test cases across 3 browsers. Okay, good. And now another question that I have here is, for suppose I have a web application and that web application is full of hyperlinks. Okay, and I just want to know how many links are present in the web application. All these links have the same set of properties. So how can I retrieve how many links are there in the web application, like the page that I am in?
child element count.
Which element? Child element count will give me if there are any child nodes. Not that. I am having a web application, single page web application, and in that single page, all I have is multiple hyperlinks, and all these hyperlinks are having same set of properties. So can somebody tell me the step-by-step procedure? Let's start with scanning. So when you scan, how do you scan them? And then how do you get the result? Like how many hyperlinks are present? This is one of the questions. That's why I'm asking you. This is from Virtusa, I think. How do we scan it? Can somebody start it at least? When we scan, how does it look like? Unique or non-unique?
Unique.
We have multiple
Identify
controls, right? How do we?
identify by index.
No. Why should I have it unique? I want to know the complete count of it. Then what should I do? How many number of web application links are present is what I want to know. If you are having a unique control, then
No,
whatever
after
action I
scanning,
perform,
I think after scanning, we will have to drag that selection to all and identify by index. We get the count, right? How many are there?
okay, but I want it during runtime, not during when I'm scanning. Okay, let me tell the scenario. Usually when we are scanning, we will scan it by using properties and it will be non-unique only. If we will not turn it to be unique, and then we will save this module, and then we will drag this module onto the test case, and in the properties, in the property drop down, we have a property result count. I said you this in the class also. We have a result count property, and if you are using this property, then it will retrieve you how many hyperlinks are present. And in the other window, you will give the buffer name and you will set the action mode as buffer. And now you will get how many hyperlinks are present. For in case if you identify this uniquely, then the result count will be 1. If you identify it non-uniquely, only then you will get the appropriate result count. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. For suppose I have a web page and all I have is single control over there, one OK button. Okay, and the value of this OK button is submit today. Okay, it is given as submit, but by tomorrow during the next change, that particular value is going to change as save. So how do you handle it? I don't want to scan it again. Currently the value is having submit in it, and now this submit is going to change into save.
We can change the label name
This
in
is
the
a
configuration
OK button.
in the module section.
This is a OK button and it has a property called value, and the value of this value property is submit, and this is going to change to save.
Rescan.
I don't want to scan again. There is nothing that is changed other than this value property.
Yeah, we can change the value name in the scanned already. We have scanned, right? There we can change the label name of the button
Okay.
in the module section.
Yeah, in the Tosca commander itself, in the module, in the properties, you can change the property. That's correct.
Thank you.
Yeah. And next question. Can somebody tell me what are business parameters?
Business parameters are use it for test case, that too for reusable, to create a reusable block we use business parameters.
To pass dynamic values in test step blocks.
Okay. Yeah. These two answers are correct. Actually, reusable test step blocks contains business parameters. If we are changing the values in the reusable test step block, that will cause changes across all the references. So in order to avoid this, we will create business parameters. And what happens is like the value, whatever we want to assign, we will assign to business parameters. And whatever value is present in the business parameters is used in the test steps in the reusable test step block. Okay. Next question is, okay, can somebody tell me what is constraint action mode? No, first list me out what are the different action modes are present.
Verify,
Okay,
buffer.
okay,
There are 6, right? Verify, buffer, input,
okay,
Click.
yeah.
is click in action mode?
Yes.
I got 3 until now. Input, verify,
Select,
buffer. Select,
Buffer.
Wait
buffer,
on.
constraint,
wait on,
constraint,
constraint. Insert is another. We did
insert.
not discuss about insert yet. Okay. Coming to one more important interview question they ask is, what is the difference between input and insert? We did not yet discuss insert in our class. Insert is mainly used in API testing. Input is used in GUI testing. That's all. Nothing else. Don't worry. Okay. We will discuss about insert in tomorrow's class. Okay. And yeah, can somebody tell me what is constraint? Constraint action mode. When do we use it? I think last time, Krishnaveni, you were saying, right? Constraint.
To restrict the search parameter.
Yeah, to restrict the search parameters. Can you tell me how do you use it? Can you take some example and tell me?
Generally, we are using in the constraint in table where we found a number of rows and column. If we want to see the particular value, then we can use the constraint parameter in the property to restrict means that 0 to n or 0 to 1 or 1 to 2 just
That is cardinality. I think you are saying about 0 to n, 0 to 2.
But we have given the range. No, no, only just 2, 3, this kind of value we are giving in our constraint.
Yeah. For suppose if you take a data table where we have name, place, animal, thing as our 4 columns, and in the place, if I'm having London value, like if it is a unique value, only then I can say, like I will not mention the row number, I'll directly mention the column number, column name as place, and then give the value of London and the constraint action mode. And the next, whatever column that I want to perform action upon, like if I want to retrieve name value, then I will select the name and then set the action mode to buffer and give the value as the buffer name. And then if I run, so what will happen is it will go to the row which is having the place as London and it will retrieve its name. Okay, perfect. The next question is what can somebody list me out what are the standard modules that you use in your day-to-day life? What are the different standard modules that we use?
Keybox,
Tbox file comparisons, Tbox file extensions, Tbox wait test program.
See, this is an easy question. Don't think much about it. Tbox wait, Tbox file
Windows
compare.
operations,
Sorry?
Windows operations,
Yeah, what are
like
the Windows operations? Send keys,
yeah, so
save as dialog, and the common ones that we use and we can easily remember is see tbox set buffer. Every day we use it. When we said set buffer, automatically delete buffer, right? And then the third one, tbox wait. This is one common thing, right? When we say wait, the same time tbox file compare, same time read or create file, delete file, verify if a file exists or not. Okay, the same. Now go on to when we are talking about files, Excels. Read or create Excel. Sorry, open Excel. Okay, and then what are the different things that we can do in Excel? First, we will open it, and then we will create the data range, and then we will do the data range manipulation. In addition to this, we have running macro is one functionality. If you don't remember, leave it. From the database, what are the modules that we have? DB expert module, open connection, set connection, run SQL statement, close connection. See how many? I got 16 standard modules until now. And they are expecting only 5 from you. Okay, please just read out these names. Okay, now let's move on. Can somebody tell me how do you access Excel using Tosca? Like I want to retrieve some values from my Excel datasheet. Hello, am I audible to all of you?
yes,
Yes,
sir. Yes.
Okay, can you tell
Like
me?
we have Tbox Excel, open Excel in standard module.
Yeah, we will use that first. Okay,
Then we will range. We will give like from
Oh.
which cell to which
Yes, that is also correct. The next step. And then the third step.
We are create a template.
No, that is totally wrong. Okay, I will say you. First, we will read the Excel, whatever, and for that particular Excel, we will give some workbook name. And in the next step, we will create the range. We will give some name to that range. We will select the sheet that we want to work on. And here we will be passing the workbook name, not the Excel sheet path. And in the third step, we will be taking up this range and we will be performing the manipulations that we want to do. And usually we can consider it as a normal table and we can retrieve the values from the Excel sheet. That's all, right? Can somebody tell me how do you work with the databases? If I have a single database connection to be done query and close it. So what is the standard module that I use for that?
DB expert module.
Yes. If I am having multiple database connections to work on,
Yeah, we'll be using that module only, and in connection, T-Box DB connection will be giving which connection to be active one, so that that connection will be working.
for multiple we will use open connection followed by the setting the current connection, running SQL statement and close connection. These are 4 independent modules. But if it is a single one, then we can use the DB expert module. Okay, what are the different ways to connect to databases?
Connection string DSL.
Yes, perfect. Connection string or DSL. Okay, and the next question is, can somebody tell me how do we access the dynamic values?
XBuffer.
Yeah, can you tell me the syntax and the action mode of it?
action mode will be buffer.
No, it's wrong.
Random numbers.
I am
Action
talking
mode will
about
be
the
verify.
yes, action mode would be verify. Can
And
you tell me the syntax?
yeah, flower brace B module.
Curly braces XB of, no, it is not B of.
Yeah,
XB of that particular buffer name. And then close the square braces and curly braces. Okay. Can somebody tell me the expression for random numbers?
R&D,
Okay.
curly braces R&D,
Yeah.
and in square braces we give 3 or 2, close the square braces and curl braces.
Okay. Can somebody give me the syntax for the date? Okay, and this date is the date that I want to get is tomorrow. How can I get tomorrow's date?
Day plus 1, current date plus 1.
How do you do that? Yeah, shall I just type current date plus 1?
No, date we give and plus 1 we give it in square braces, close the curl braces.
In which square braces?
No,
one.
first curl braces we give date function. In
Okay.
square places we give plus 1 and
Oh,
close the curl brace.
okay. If I give just plus 1, is it enough?
plus 1D.
Yes, plus
Okay.
1D.
Okay.
Okay. Is date functionality case sensitive?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Next question is, hmm, what is the difference between capital M and small m in date functionality?
Capital M represents the particular month thing. Small m represents minutes.
Okay, I think it's Volta, right? Small m is for month and capital M is for minutes.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, what is a partial buffer?
The value half will be stored in the buffer, not the complete value, the partial.
Okay, partial value will be stored into the buffer. We will be mentioning the number of characters, which position to which position you want to retrieve always. Okay, good. And what are the different kinds of weights we have and which one is the most preferred one?
In buffers, you're asking?
I'm asking about weight.
Oh, okay.
WAIT.
Static weight and dynamic weight. We have two weights.
Okay, what is static weight? What is dynamic weight?
Dynamic weight is for fixing the time, fixing the weight, and dynamic weight is we are passing the time by runtime.
Mm, Okay, which is the most preferred one?
Um, Static weight. In static weight, we can set the value up to 20 seconds or 30 seconds, something.
Okay. Can somebody explain me what is dynamic weight?
Dynamic weight.
Like,
Yeah, go ahead.
if we want some page to be displayed, until the page is retrieved, we will set the time.
Okay, so which one do you think is the preferred one? Static one or a dynamic one?
Dynamic.
Dynamic one. Okay. Can you tell me why?
Because sometimes if we predetermine like it is 20 seconds or 40 seconds because of net slowness or anything, the page is not retrieved, the test case will be failing. That is why we go for dynamic wait.
Okay, what if the page loads super fast, like within 5 seconds? What will happen with the dynamic wait and what will happen with static wait? Now think like you have set the wait time to wait for 20 seconds and your page is loaded within 5th second only.
If page is loaded, dynamic wait, I think it will not stop, it will start executing. But in static wait, because the wait time is already given as 20 or anything, even the page loads, it will wait. So dynamic is preferred.
Yes, perfect. Okay, please explain it in this way. Okay, the last way that you said me. In dynamic,
Okay.
it is like we will set the maximum period. If that particular property comes up, then it will load immediately. And in static, it is the fixed way. So we will prefer the dynamic one. Okay.
Okay.
Can somebody tell me what are the different kinds of dynamic weights we have?
wait on
and
Wait before, wait after.
wait before, wait after, or static waits. Don't get confused.
Synchronization.
Yeah, synchronization is one and wait on is one. Okay. Now, can somebody tell me how do we create test sheets?
using test case module.
How do, the step-by-step procedure of the test sheets I am asking you. We'll go to test case design and then right click and create test sheets, right? What does this
Yeah.
test sheets have?
Instance.
Instances.
Yeah, they have instances. And what do they have basically in them? Attributes, right? So how
Yeah.
can we create attributes? We can create them either manually or by dragging and dropping the business parameters or by dragging and dropping the entire modules.
Okay.
Okay. Now can somebody tell me how do we create templates? What is a template?
We can drag and drag the test sheet and create a test case template.
Yes, can you tell?
Otherwise, go to the test case, right click and we can
First we
create
will,
the
first we will create the test case and then we will right click and say convert this one as a template, and then after converting it into template we will drag that particular test sheet and drop it over here, and we will map the business parameters, and then what will happen?
we will
will
create instance.
Yes, we will create the instances. Okay. The next question. Can somebody tell me what are the characters of the instances? Different instance characters and examples. Valid, invalid, straight through. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you mean by valid instance?
Valid is for the business process. So don't expect.
Okay. What is invalid?
Invalid means you can expect an error.
Okay. What is straight through?
Part to the application of the least dependencies.
Straight through instance is something which is nothing but the happy path sort of a thing. Okay. And what are the different types of instance generation techniques that are available?
From test case, we can either create that sheet and instantiate that, or we should give the Excel path, the schema.
No, I'm asking what are the different instance generation techniques that are available? all combinations, pairwise, orthogonal,
Oh, okay. Okay.
linear expansion.
Linear, pairwise,
Yes, yes, those.
orthogonal, all combinations.
Okay. And okay, what is the difference between execution list and scratchbook?
Scratchbook is temporary, temporary, and execution list, it saves and we can take the logs. We can download the reports.
Okay.
Actual log is created in execution list. Temporary log is created in Scratchbook.
In scratchbook, will we have the logs?
Temporary logs. Yes, we have
Oh.
logs. That is temporary
In
logs.
temporary logs. In scratchbook, there is no log concept at all. If we say logs, those are present only in the execution list. Do remember that. Okay. Okay. Can somebody tell me what are recovery and cleanup scenarios?
Recovery is the second life of the test case. It is added at the test case level. Oh, sorry, it's added at the execution level, and it
Where
states
do
that
we have this recovery and cleanup?
execution list. Oh,
Oh,
sorry, test case level.
okay.
And in cleanup will be doing the same process, but cleanup will state the what is the exact state level of our program.
Okay. So how do we call them? Like, how do we execute them and all?
In recovery and cleanup are given at the reusable test blocks. From there, we'll be giving these values to the execution list, and if the test case gets failed, then it will be calling those recovery and cleanup scenarios, and it will be functioning.
These recovery and cleanup scenarios are given at the test cases folder level. And what will happen is if the test case fails, then we will call for the recovery and cleanup. That is correct. Okay. Then can somebody tell me what is the retry level that is present?
If the
What are
test
the different kinds of retry levels that we have here? Test case, test step, and test step value level. Right. And if we give the test case as the retry level, what will happen? When the test case fails, the recovery will start executing from the beginning of the test case. If the retry level is test step, then it will start executing from the test step at which it has failed. If it is given as test step value, accordingly it will execute from the test step value at which it has failed. I think we covered almost all the questions, and I know there are some more which we have to learn and get practice more, especially with the recovery scenarios. Okay. Any other questions? Any doubts?
Amir, does Tosca support multi-browser execution?
Yes, it supports. All you have to do is give that browser configuration parameter and assign that particular parameter value to a buffer. Take a buffer value over there. In runtime, you can change this buffer as per your need. Okay. Yeah. So let's connect again tomorrow and discuss about API testing. Okay. Practice more. Thank you all. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.